I know I don't seem introverted, but I am. I'm like an extroverted introvert. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you are new or just stumbling across this video, hello, my name is Katrina. Thank you for watching. Today I am sharing with you guys my 6 best tips for working from home. So staying productive and focused, not getting distracted, and procrastinating. It is really hard, but I do have some tips up my sleeve that I really want to share with you guys, especially with the current health climate. Everyone's working from home at the moment, which is really cool, but I've had lots of questions asking how do I stay on track, how do I not get distracted and end up on, YouTube for an hour when I should be working. So I thought, well, I may as well make a video about it so I can tell you all at once and I can show you what I use, because I do have some apps and stuff that I like to use and different ways that I set out my calendar and scheduling and stuff. So I thought I would just make a video about it. It will be so much easier for everyone involved. If you don't know already, I am a social media manager, so I have my own business and I have multiple clients that I work for. So obviously I can't be just sitting in each of their offices. Some of them are based in different suburbs and stuff, so it would be kind of hard if I was doing that. So I work from home. I've been doing it for nearly a year now and I have been loving it. As a little introvert over here, I know I don't seem introverted, but I am. I'm like an extroverted introvert. I love working from home. So a lot of people can find it quite boring or isolating working from home, and I just want to share that I do definitely have those days. It's not all just rainbows and butterflies every single day, but on the whole, I really do enjoy working by myself, for myself, being my own boss. But anyway, before we get into the video, please head down below and give this video a thumbs up because it really supports my channel and it helps with that YouTube algorithm. Please comment any videos that you would like to see next from me, whether they are beauty, personal finance, anything, lifestyle vlogs, whatever you want to see, I'll do it. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell for notifications every time that I post. I post twice a week on Thursdays and Sundays, but you never know what exact time. It might be 4:30, it might be 5, so you gotta hit the bell. Now, without further ado, let's get to the tips. Now, tip number 1 is to time batch. So time batching is essentially a really productive scheduling system. So what I first do is I use the Microsoft To Do app. I love using this app because I can sync it across all of my devices, so my computer, my iPad, and my iPhone. I don't know if it works on Samsung. I'm assuming it does. It's a Microsoft app. It should. It's a really easy to use app. Basically what you've got is you've got all of your lists, so you can create as many or as little lists as you like. I have got one for each of my clients, and then I've got just personal things that I want to do, housework that I need to get done. I've got illustrations that I need to do because I love doing digital illustrations. I've got videos that I need to make, all that sort of stuff. And then you've got my day at the top. And so if you go into each of your lists, you've got all of your items, and from there you can add an item to your day. And once you've done that for all of the items that you want to add to your day, you can click up in My Day and you'll see it all there. Next, what I do is I go into my computer's calendar, which is also synced across all of my devices, and I have got individual calendars that are color coordinated up on the side, and they are for each of my clients. And then I've got one for exercise, I've got one for food, which I'll tell you why a little later. I've also got one for personal stuff that I need to do, and I've got one for illustrations and also acting gigs or auditions and stuff that are coming up. So once you've got your calendars listed and you've color coded them appropriately, just head back into the To-Do List app, find your first item on your day's list, and basically just assign a block of time to it. So what I do is I go back into the calendar and I will say I want to do emails for half an hour. Then I'm going to go, okay, 9 AM to 9:30, I'm going to do emails, and that's it. If I finish early, awesome. If I don't finish them, well, too bad, so sad. I won't touch them again until I have blocked out another time. So it might be the same time the next day, or I might decide at the end of the day I'm going to catch up on any emails that came through throughout the day. This just stops you from working into time that you can be working on other items in your list, if that makes sense. So I know from previous admin positions that I've done, emails in particular can eat your day away. So unless you put a limit on it, you're probably going to end up doing emails all day and then you don't get anything else done. So say emails have been blocked out for 9 to 9:30, then I'm going to go back into my list and I'm going to say, okay, what do I want to do next? And I will then add that item into my calendar straight under and say I want to do that for an hour and a half. And that's it. I am only allowed to do that item for that hour and a half, and then I move on to the next task. So essentially you just do that for like your whole week. I like to do mine a week in advance, and that works really effectively for me, but a lot of you have probably only just started working from home, and you don't exactly know when you're gonna be going back into the office. So potentially just doing it day by day will work for you, but I just like to see everything from afar and just see it all out in front of me, so that's why I like to do it a week in advance. Now, in saying this, you need to make sure that you block out some time for lunch, a morning tea, afternoon tea break, because otherwise, if you're like me, you can get really into work mode and then you end up working the whole day through and you get to about 5 o'clock and you're like, oh, I didn't even have lunch, and that's not healthy. It's definitely something that I do sometimes, but I try my best to not do that. So the easiest way to do that is to simply just block out some time for lunch, block out some time for morning tea, afternoon tea. Another thing that will help with all of that is making sure that each of the tasks in your calendar has a little notification bell or alarm of some sort. It's like being back at school where you get a little bell to go to your next class, and it's basically doing that. Just to notify you, time's up, move on to the next task. I find that I can get really into work mode, but if I do get distracted by something, I can be distracted for like a full hour. So something that helps with that is actually scheduling in some time for entertainment or just chilling out, whether it's, you know, just a quick 15 minutes in between two of your tasks, whether it's half an hour at the end of the day, whether it's waking up earlier and doing it, you know, before breakfast, hanging out, watching a YouTube video, doing whatever you want to do. That way you kind of get it out of your system and you don't have to worry about being distracted constantly throughout the day. So it's definitely worthwhile to schedule in some downtime or some entertainment time, I guess. And also on that, to schedule in some exercise as well. I'm sure everyone's in the same boat at the moment, not really wanting to go to the gym. So it's definitely worthwhile to schedule in just a quick little workout at home. It's really going to boost your mood and your energy, and you're just going to be a lot more focused and have a clearer mind for the day ahead. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to play some music while you work. And now I'm not talking just your everyday like Spotify top hits Australia, but I mean like study, concentration, classical music, jazz music, something like that that'll really get you in the zone. So if you go onto Spotify, they literally have a genre called study. I hope this isn't reflecting too much. And so they've got instrumental study, they've got intense studying, they've got all-nighter, jazz for study, music for concentration, reading soundtrack, electronic concentration, just focus, peaceful guitar, literally everything. Definitely just head on to Spotify, or you can go to YouTube, Apple Music. I'm sure pretty much every platform would have some sort of study music. I find that lo-fi beats, I always call it lo-fi, but I think it's lo-fi beats, just those really chill songs that can either put you to sleep or can get you really in work mode. And for me, well, if I'm on a plane, it gets me to sleep, but if I'm here at home, I'm working. So it works for me. It may not work for you. You may end up just falling asleep, but perhaps more jazz music or classical music will help you. Just something that'll really help to stimulate your brain and help you concentrate. Tip number 3 is to put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Now, that may frustrate you, but in the long run, it's going to help you. So I have Do Not Disturb, but allows phone calls, because sometimes I have really important phone calls come through and I cannot afford to miss them. So I definitely have that on at all times. However, once I go back into lunch break or entertainment time, chill out time, then I'll take it off of Do Not Disturb. So that's definitely something that's going to help you, especially if you get, say, lots of Facebook or Instagram notifications and you just don't want to be distracted by them. Then they're just not going to show up at all and you got nothing to be distracted by. Tip number 4 is, if you are living from home, do your house cleaning in the morning while you're having breakfast, or like before or after breakfast. I don't mean while you're eating breakfast. That would be horrible. If you're like me and you like everything to kind of be in its place and neat and tidy pretty much at all times, this will be a good one for you, because I used to, if say I was just getting up to go to the bathroom, I would then, you know, see something on the floor and then I'd tidy it up and then I'd see something else, and then I'd find myself tidying that up, and then all of a sudden I'm like disinfecting the toilets. That's a little extreme, but you see my point. I end up cleaning for about an hour in the middle of the day when I really don't have time to be cleaning, but to me it just becomes such a priority, and I'm like, I need to clean this house. So what I do now is while I'm making my coffee and my breakfast, I also do the dishwasher, and then I'll tidy up anything in the kitchen, and then I'll sit down and I'll have my breakfast, my coffee, and then I will do any laundry or tidying up anything that I need to do before I come upstairs and sit down at my desk. That way I just feel like I have achieved things, everything's neat and tidy and clean, and I just feel like I've already been productive in my day, and it just continues that productivity for the rest of the day. And it also stops me from cleaning for about an hour or two in the middle of the day. Tip number 5 is to meal prep. Now, I know you're gonna say, but I'm working from home, I don't need to meal prep. However, you would be surprised how much time you get taken out of your day when you decide to cook your meals. So I like to cook, I just do a double batch of whatever I'm having for dinner the night before, and then I just put half of it into a container for lunch the next day. And you would not believe how much time I have saved by doing that. Especially if you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna eat today. Oh, I'm just gonna have a look in the pantry. I don't know what to do. You just end up wasting a lot of time, and it's not productive, and it doesn't help you. And then you might only end up making something really quick and easy because you've realized you've wasted so much time, and then it's not very nutritional. It's not gonna help you. It's not gonna help your brain keep focused. So by meal prepping the night before, and even snacks, like plan out what snacks you want to have throughout the day. I always have these sitting at my desk at all times, so that if I'm ever hungry, I don't even have to leave my desk. They're sitting here ready to go. These are the Carmen's Bliss Balls. They're pretty new, and they're salted caramel and coconut, and they are so yummy, and they're also really good for you. So great little brain power snack over here, and I don't even have to leave my office. Now, on that note, please drink enough water. So I believe you're supposed to have around 2 liters a day minimum, and on a normal day, I probably wouldn't have that much. So these days I have got one of these healthish timestamp water bottles. So it says full all the way down to 12 p.m. and then refill, and then on the other side it goes down to 6 p.m. and refill. So that's 2 liters in the day, and it is so helpful because I've got my clock on my computer, on my phone, on my iPad, everything's right there. And as soon as I see a time, it's like, oh, I have to make sure that I've drunk that much. It has been so helpful, and also it's really pretty to look at. Like, I love just like sitting it here on my desk. Look at that, it just looks pretty. If I didn't have that water bottle, I would forget to drink water. That's the thing, if you get really into work mode, you forget to eat and you forget to drink. So definitely get yourself one of these if you're gonna be working from home for a long time. Even just working in an office or like wherever, I feel like these water bottles are really, really helpful, really beneficial. So definitely get yourself onto one of those. I'll link it down below. And finally, tip number 6 is to make sure that you get enough sleep each night. So I aim for about 8 hours sleep, and I can certainly tell if I have not had enough sleep or I've overslept, because I'm often just crashing all day long. No matter how many coffees I have, I am lacking in energy, I am so unproductive, I'm really distracted, and it's really hard to get yourself back on track when you're the only person telling yourself what to do. So by making sure that you get a good night's sleep, it is going to make all the difference. Take advantage of the fact that you don't have to commute to work. So if it's just sleeping in an extra half hour in the morning or going to bed an hour earlier at night, then do it, because you are going to thank yourself for it. So that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all stay safe and healthy and well throughout this time, and I hope that these tips do help you while you're working from home. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up down below. Make sure you comment if there's any videos that you would like to see from me next. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications for every time that I post. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye!